There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Change. It happens when you least expect it, but also when you embrace it. At Accenture, we help the world's biggest brands thrive through change. Our people combine technology and creativity, expertise and experience, learning and collaboration, passion and purpose to make a difference for our clients, their customers, our company, and our communities. Behind every great change is a great human. Bring your skills, your curiosity, and your true self to your work every day. Let's do incredible things. Let's deliver on the promise of technology and human ingenuity.
All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live with President Ramon Magsaysay State University.
Right, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com.
So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com and DOLE. And before we start, may we invite everybody for the opening prayer followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Dear Lord and Father of all, thank you for today. Thank you for making all things possible. We are grateful for all the blessings you are putting upon each one of us, despite the challenges we are all currently facing. Thank you for blessing us today with the wonderful opportunity to meet virtually and learn together in this webinar. May your blessings of wisdom and guidance be upon us all through the sharing and impartation of knowledge and skills by our resource speakers, facilitators, and moderators. May all of us learn together for the development of our learners' lives in the spirit of your love and generosity. We ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa sinanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisir. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bugaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituing na taraw niya kailan pa may di magdidiling. Lupa ng araw ng walang ipagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you, Tech. Again, welcome everyone. You ready na ba kayo? I hope you all are. By the way, my name is Joyce from Jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live again via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page. And we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. All right. So to officially start today's session, may we invite I'm sorry. And Mrs. Celia C. Garson, LLB University Director for the Student Affairs and Services, to give us the opening remarks.
Good afternoon to Mr. Kim Chua, the Managing Director of Jobs 180, to Mr. Albert Aquino of DOLE, to Sir Juvencio Marquez, our Placement Head, to all the staff and officers of Jobs 180, our graduating students, good afternoon. According to International Labor Organization, work is a part of everyone's daily life and is crucial to a person's dignity, well-being, and development as a human being. To our graduating students, soon you will enter the world of work. And our university, the President Ramon Magsaysay State University, through our partner organizations such as Jobs 180 and DOLE and PESO, is preparing you to your next journey. This activity, the Marketing Me activity, will not just promote yourself. It is very important because this will provide you the fundamental principles and rights at work. And moreover, with the help, of course, of Jobs 180, this will create better opportunities to all our graduating students to find the best jobs in the Philippines. In behalf of our university president, we would like to extend our sincere appreciation to PESO, to DOLE, and Jobs 180 for this activity. And muli, magandang hapon and welcome to Marketing Me webinar. Salamat po. Nakamute ka, ma'am.
Ayun. Okay. So, apologies on that, Dr. Cecilia. So thank you so much, ma'am, for gracing the event, and of course, for again trusting Jobs 180 to power your events. And of course, we hope and we look forward to more events with him soon. And thank you so much, ma'am, and good afternoon.
Thank you, ma'am. Kami po yung dapat magpasalamat sa mga assistance na binibigay ninyo. Salamat po.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. So, as usual, to our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after talk. So we have two topics for today po. It's first po yung resume link, and then the labor education for the graduating students from DOLE. So don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So kung wala pa po sila dito, tawagan nyo na. Nakakapanghinayang naman if may miss nila itong event na ito bago kayo mag-graduation. Ayan. So grab the opportunity. And if you guys are ready, so here is our schedule for today. So again, we have two topics for today's session. We have first the online applications using Resumelink, which will be discussed by jobs180.com, and the next topic is labor education for the graduating students from DOLE Zambales. So again, shout out to everyone who is here na. Again, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. Sabi ko nga, wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay. So, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So, for our first topic, which is online applications using Resumelink, our first presenter has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. The managing director from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Everyone, allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag natin resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number one, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung proteksyonan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong Resumelink? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So, you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating pa sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng Resumelink. Just transfer them here inside the Resumelink para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga, hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin sa camera. Wear something, of course, wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng mga kasi mga sample na profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Ina sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon, interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So, you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang gano'n na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na, anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? That's yung ibig ko sabihin. Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigay mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real-time. As in real-time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, wag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nag-submit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. Di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng Resumelink card. Ano tong Resumelink card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming Resumelink card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa Resumelink card mo ay syempre ang inyong Resumelink. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang Resumelink mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the Resumelink on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the Resumelink. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the Resumelink. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data. Pwede ka naman makakorek sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Diba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O diba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your Resumelink to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes, lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang job street resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chua lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Ayan, so, thank you so much for that, Sir Kim. I hope you can hear me.
Yes. I think
Ayun.
I'm using this
May
device.
feedback lang
Okay
tayo.
naman. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ayan.
Okay.
So, parang pareho kami ni Sir Kim na may lag, pero for sure, magkakaintindihan. Magkakaintindihan naman po. Okay. So, guys, the floor is now open for questions. So if you have questions regarding resume link, kasi Sir Kim, nung nakaraan na resume link webinar natin with PRMSU, iba campus lang po ang audience natin. So for today's session, sabihan tayo ni Sir Joven na from different campuses po, yung mga nandito, so parang merong Masinloc campus, ayan, may Candelaria campus, so marami pong campus ng PRMSU ang nag-watch today. So ayan, so good afternoon to everyone sa lahat po ng campus ng PRMSU. Ayan, so if you have questions po regarding resume link and sa mga first time na marinig sa resume link, ayan, kung may questions kayo, please feel free po to post your questions on the comment section and we will try to read and answer all your questions. Ayan, so while waiting for questions, Sir Kim, ako na po muna ang magtatanong. Ayan, habang scrolling for their questions. Ayan, so sabi ko nga, sir, for the first-time job seekers, how useful it is to use the resume link po, lalo na ngayon sa mga graduating students.
This is very useful because if you have your resume link, una sa lahat, you'll be getting a lot of job matches na. So marami ng mga possible companies na pwede mag-contact sa inyo. Kayo nila magde-decide kung entertain nyo sila or hindi. Yan yung unang-unang pinakamagandang feature na nakikita ko dyan. No? Pangalawa is yung security feature kasi kayo yung may control anong information ilalabas nyo or tatago nyo sa public. Maliban sa security feature na kayo yung maglalagay or magko-control, updated pa siya real time. So anytime na nag-update kayo, yung pinaka-recent, siya yung mag-reflect sa resume link na ginawa ninyo. Or kung sino man yung mayroong alam ng resume link nyo, yun yung makita nila, yung pinaka-recent yung in-update. Aside from that, you'll be getting a lot of notification or invitation pag meron tayong mga webinars, kagaya ng ginagawa natin ngayon, pag meron tayong itong mga webinar series, at kung meron tayong mga possible na virtual career fair. So, pwede rin kayo ma-invite sa mga ganong event. All you need to do lang is create your resume link para maka-receive kayo ng ganong mga notification or invitation. Ayan.
Alright, so thank you so much, Sir Kim. So please wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Kung gusto niyo magtanong ng Ilocano, kayang-kaya, pwede natin translate kay Sir Kim. Ayan, tapos parang may sambal sila. So ask tayo ng help kay Sir Joven. Kung gusto niya mag-ask ng in sambal question, ayan. So feel free to ask, guys. So next question, Sir Kim, is can I simply search my classmates' resume link?
Can you search for your classmate's resume link? You cannot. If you know the resume link of the person, that's a time that you can type it sa browser. Google Chrome, Firefox, Android, Safari, whatever you're using, pwede mo makita. Now, kung sakali lang, no, gusto mo mag-search, pumunta ka sa jobs180.com. Meron dun search bar. So halimbawa lang, ikaw si Charles. Ikaw si Rona. Ayan, shout out na ako sa inyo, Charles or Rona. Subukan nyo i-type yung sa search bar ng Jobs 180, yung Rona o kaya yung Charles. Tignan nyo kung anong mangyari para masagot yung tanong ni Ma'am Shari. Walang lalabas. Unless merong company name, position title, or location na may word na Rona or may word na Charles. That's the only time may lalabas dyan. Pero other than that, walang lalabas. So, paano malalaman ito ng mga kumpanya? Kailangan kayo ang magbigay mismo sa mga companies, sa mga gusto nyong applyan, sa mga gusto nyong submitan ng resume link nyo. Yun po. So, you're in control, 100%.
Alright. So, Sir Kim, paano naman po yung mga taga Zambales na gustong mag-apply sa mga companies na hindi kilala sa Jobs 180? Can they still submit their resume link?
Yes, kahit na kilala or hindi kilala yung kumpanya or the other way around, no? Alam man or hindi ng company ang resume link, pwede nyo po ibigay yan sa kanila. Now, asahan nyo, some companies might ask you, no? Pag binigay mo yung resume link, baka sabihin nila sa'yo, ma'am, o kaya sir, ano po yan? Diba? Kasi hindi ko alam yan yung binibigay mo sa akin na resume link. You just have to be polite in answering them. No, wag kang sumagot ng pabalang or pabastos na tipong sasabihin mo, ha, ma'am, hindi mo alam yan. Hindi ka in, 'di ba? Low-tech naman kayo, 'di ba? Wag kang syempre, wag mo ganunin yung HR, no? Sabihin mo lang ng maayos, ma'am or sir, yan po ang aking resume link. Lahat ng information na kailangan niyo po malaman about me, nandiyan na po sa loob ng link na yan. Okay, kung may kailangan pa po kayo na additional documents or any other requirements that you need me to fulfill, I can easily attach it there and you can anytime check it. So it will be very efficient. Di ba? Mas mabilis yung proseso. Yun po.
Alright. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. May question po tayo from Ms. Melet Gakayan. So the question is, para sa mga graduating this year lang po ba ito applicable or pwede rin ba mag-register yung mga graduate na 2 years ago?
Okay, Ma'am Milet, sa tanong po ninyo, kung itong resume link ba ay para lang sa mga graduating, ang sagot po, hindi. No, itong resume link po, pwede ito kahit na kanino. Kahit kayo ay nasa senior high school, kayo ay nasa first year, second year, third year, graduating year, graduate na ng recently or graduate na ng matagal na, may trabaho ngayon or let's say naghahanap din or walang trabaho. Kumbaga, in short, para sa lahat, pwede nyo po ito gamitin. Okay, yan ang kagandahan ng resume link. This tool, when you create it, option ninyo para ilagay doon kung ita-turn on mo yung notification or ita-turn off mo yung notification. So halimbawa lang, mamilit, kayo ay may trabaho na later on at ayaw nyo nang pinapadalan kayo ng maraming mga possible job opportunity, pwede mo po i-turn off. Off nyo muna yung notification. Tapos pag kayo ay open na ulit para maghanap ng mga possible na trabaho, then you can just turn on the notification and you'll be getting a lot of possible job matches ulit. So yan po. Now to answer your question, para po ito sa kahit na kanino at kahit saan at para po sa lahat ng klase ng status, no, sa inyong employment. Kung may trabaho, walang trabaho, pwede po yan. Okay? Yan.
Alright. Thank you, Sir Kim. Next question, Sir Kim. Ayan. So, paano po pag wala pang experience sa work, pwede po ba ilagay yung experience mo sa OJT?
Yes. Sir Carlo, yung experience ninyo, ilalagay mo dyan, yung totoong naging experience nyo. Huwag kayong mag-iimbento, baka mamaya naglalagay kayo ng anything lang for the sake na masabi na meron kayong work experience. Hindi naman kailangan na ganun. Kung meron, edi meron. Kung wala, edi wala. Diba? ilagay mo lang dito kung may OJT, kung meron kayo summer job, part-time job, full-time job, or any other racket or sideline, basta totoong naging trabaho, no? Nagkaroon kayo ng experience sa trabahong yon, pwede mo po ilagay. At yan ay check sa inyo ng mga HR later on pag kayo ay nag-interview na. Okay? Ayan, Sir Carlo.
All right, thank you, Sir Kim. Next question from Sir Drino.
Ang ganda ng pangalan, Sir Drino. Drino Karaoke Channel.
Karaoke channel. So, ma'am, sir, ask ko lang po kung pwede po bang i-download ng company yung resume na galing sa Jobs 180 or if ever na need po nila ng iba pang mga documents. So,
Okay,
parang looking for
you can yes. So, Sir Drino, yung sa tanong po ninyo, no, yung resume ninyo, pwede nyo siya i-convert to PDF or other files sa loob po ng inyong resume link. Pwede nyo siya i-save dun sa mga document file na yon. Now, when you give this to the company, based on your question now, when you give this to your company, pwede ba nila ito i-download? Yes, they can do that. They can print it out if they want to print it out for their 201 filing, no? Para meron na silang file ninyo for hard copy. Ayan, just to answer your question, yes, pwede naman nila gawin yun. Okay, but again, it depends on the privacy settings ninyo. Okay?
Alright. Thank you, sir. Next question, ayan, parang marami tayong question from PRMSU to...
Parang diesel lang yun, umiinit na ngayon eh. Ngayon pa lang nagtatanungan. So sige lang,
yes, sir.
nyo lang yung question
From
nyo.
Sir Daniel Miraflores, maaari po ba ito magamit sa mga hiring sa government department and agency?
Sir Daniel, sa lahat po, pwede nyo to gamitin. Sa biro ko kahit sa ibang bansa pa o ibang planeta, basta merong internet connection, pwede nyo to ibigay. Okay? Pag tanong yung government agency na ina-applyan nyo, pag may kailangan sila ng resume information nyo, you can give your resume link. If they will request for your hard copy, as in the full hard copy, yung long bond paper or short bond paper na type, pwede mo ka rin mag-print ng resume link mo. Punta ka lang doon sa resume link mo, tapos print options, no? 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, i-compress na lahat into 1 page. Yan po, no? So those are options. So when you give that to the company, regardless kung government agency yan or private sector, pwede nyo to, kumbaga very flexible. Sa lahat pwede, applicable naman siya. Yan po. Okay?
Alright, so thank you so much, Sir Kim. So guys, if you still have questions, so please feel free po. Ayan, meron pa, sir, from Sir Alexander Abad Jr. Okay, does work experiences must be relevant to what job position you're applying to?
Hindi naman. Sir Alexander, yung work experience niyo, whatever that work experience is or was na nagkaroon kayo, ideally, dyan binabase ng mga HR yung naging experience nyo pagdating sa skill sets nyo. Kasi 'di ba, one of the things that companies look at is your skills. So how will you be able to hone your skills or saan mo nakuha yung experience na yun? Mostly based on the work experience. Okay, but it doesn't really matter kung connected ba sa course nyo yung work experience nyo. Okay, or yung ina-applyan ninyo. Syempre mas maganda kung connected. Kasi kahit pa paano you have the background for that work, no? Pero kung wala namang connect, don't worry, you just put it there. You never know, it might help, 'di ba? It might help dun sa pag-evaluate ng HR ng inyong background or inyong experience kahit na iba po yung field na yon or ibang specialization. Okay?
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Kim. So, Sir Kim, baka gusto mo pong i-promote ang openings ni Jobs 180 Big Position.
Meron
kasi maraming
po,
IT sila.
may internal hiring, no, ang jobs180.com. Meron po kaming requirement right now for web developer position. So kung kayo po ay nasa IT, if you want to explore as a web developer dito po mismo sa Jobs 180, internal to, internal hiring namin, you can check out jobs180.com/jobs180. Or puntahan mo yung link na nagsuscroll ngayon dito sa screen, schools.jobs180.com/PRMSU or PRMSU. Hanapin nyo lang po dyan yung Jobs 180. Makita nyo yung mga opportunities na meron dito po, internal. Aside from web developer, kailangan din po namin ng customer support, mobile developer. Marami kami mga hiring right now. So if you have friends or you know anyone, any relatives or whoever, nakilala nyo, mga classmates nyo, or kayo mismo, kung interesado kayo, send your resume link to us.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. So I think no more questions from the audience. So do you have final words, Sir Kim, to the graduating students po of PRMSU?
Okay, ako reminder ko lang is you're now venturing into something that's unknown. Sabi nga no, para sa inyo marami sa atin kinakabahan kasi this is the first time you're taking off from school and then you're exploring opportunities. Ang sa akin lang is kung saan man yung passion ninyo, always follow it, no? Kung ano yung kagustuhan nyo, hindi porket yan yung course nyo, yan dapat na maging trabaho nyo. Okay? Ideally, I hope yan ang course nyo kasi yan ang gusto ninyo. Hindi yung gusto ng magulang nyo or gusto ng kung sino man. Kaya kayo napunta sa course ninyo. Pero kung ano man yung course ninyo right now, I hope yan ang gusto ninyo. At kung hindi nyo gusto yan, sundin nyo ang inyong puso. Hanapin nyo yung gusto ninyo. Okay? At yung mahal nyo. Okay? Yan ang gawin ninyo. Yung trabaho. Okay? Yung trabaho ang gawin ninyo. Okay? Find that career, find that work, and sabi nga nila, you'll never have to work a single day in your life basta ikaw ay nag-enjoy at gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Okay? So, use your resume link. Maraming opportunities dyan sa school page na yan, sa schools.jobs180.com/PRMSU or pumunta kayo sa jobs180.com mismo, no? Sa website ni Jobs180. Hanap-hanap lang ng mga kumpanya, apply lang. Okay? Make sure lang din, by the way, you do your research about the company. Huwag yung apply na hindi nalalaman kung ano yung pinapasukan. Okay? Kasi sayang naman ang oras ninyo at oras ng HR pag kayo ay nag-apply sa mga kumpanya na hindi nyo naman alam din yung pinapasukan nyo. Okay? Baka matanong kayo sa interview na, what do you know about the company? Tapos sasabihin nyo, wala ko akong alam kasi clinic ko lang at nagbaka sakali. Okay? So please research about the company and then good luck to everyone. Okay?
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. So guys, if you still have questions regarding Resumelink, so you may email us at info@jobs180.com or you can send us a message po sa aming messenger, Facebook, jobs180.com. So thank you so much, Sir Kim.
Salamat din. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, so before we move on to our next topic, so meron po tayong evaluation which will serve as your attendance for today's session. So please fill out the online evaluation form. Nasa screen nyo po and already posted on the comment section. So please do evaluate kasi this will serve as your attendance for today's session. Okay. And at later po sa dulo, i-show din natin ulit yung evaluation. Okay. So next topic is a labor education for the graduating students. So may we ask Mr. Albert Aquino, the Labor and Employment Officer from DOLE Zambales.
Basic Concepts in Labor Relations Law. Nagsisimula ang relasyon ng manggagawa at ng employer kung ang manggagawa ay pumirma na ng kanyang contract of employment. Ang kontrata ng empleyado ay ang tinatawag nating starting point ng application ng Labor Code. Dito nagsisimula ang relasyon ng manggagawa at ng employer bunsad ng malayang pagsang-ayon, na kung saan ang empleyado ay pumapayag na manilbihan sa employer, kapalit ang sahod o sweldo. The essential element of an employment relationship is what we call control. The employer has control over the means and manner of work done by the employee. And the employer also has control over the results of the work. In the absence of a contract, there is what we call fourfold test, or the tests of employer-employee relationship, namely, selection and engagement of the employee. Selection and engagement refers to the choice of the employer to hire the services of a worker and his commitment to keep the worker as his employee. Payment of wages. Payment refers to the compensation that an employee gets for work performed. Power of dismissal. Dismissal is a component of the employer's power to move or organize employees. This is an act of labor force movement done by the employer that results in the termination of employment relationship. The power to control the employee's conduct. Control refers to the employer's power to regulate how work is done. This is the most important aspect of the fourfold test. Regular employees. Regular employees are those engaged to perform activities usually necessary or desirable in the usual trade or business of employer. One example of this is a shoemaker who is employed in a shoe factory. A regular employee is employed for an indefinite term and cannot be dismissed except for cause. Temporary employees. Temporary employees are those engaged for a fixed or specific term to perform activities usually necessary or desirable in the usual trade or business of employer, and are also called specific project employee. Specific project employees are those employed in a project whose term or condition of work is for a specific project only. An example of this is a construction worker who is hired to work in an infrastructure project. The duration of his work in the company is stated in his contract. This means that the duration of his work should be known by the time he is hired or engaged. Seasonal employee. Seasonal employee is when the work to be performed is only for a certain time or season of the year, and the employment is only for that duration. This type is common practice to retail, food and beverage, hospitality, and other related industries as augmentation to their workforce to cover for the demand during peak seasons. If project or undertaking is not specific or time limited, temporary employee can claim regular status if work is usually necessary or desirable in usual trade or business of the company or establishment. If work is not usually necessary or desirable, the employee is a casual employee. Casual employees. There is casual employment when an employee performs work that is not usually necessary or primarily related to the employer's business or trade. The definite period of employment should be made known to the employee at the time they started rendering service. If the employee has rendered service for at least 1 year in the same company, whether the casual employment is continuous or not, they shall be considered a regular employee with respect to the activity they are employed, and will continue rendering service while such activity exists. Probationary employees are those who are required to undergo a probationary period to determine their fitness to qualify for regular employment. There is probationary employment when the employee upon his engagement is made to undergo a trial period during which the employer determines his fitness to qualify for regular employment based on reasonable standards made known to him at the time of engagement. The probationary or trial period shall not exceed 180 calendar days. An employee who is allowed to work after a probationary period shall be considered a regular employee. Kinikilala ng batas na kapwa may mga karapatan ang manggagawa at employer. Ang employer ay may management prerogative, ang empleyado naman ay may mga karapatan base sa saligang batas, ang labor code at ang kanyang mga kontrata. The management determines the direction and conduct of its business and regulates all aspects of employment including hiring, work assignments, working methods, time, place, manner of work. tools and processes, supervision of workers, work regulations, transfer of employees, discipline, dismissal, layoff, recall of employees. The exercise of management prerogative must be in good faith, not based on malice, for valid business reasons, not covered by any legal or contractual limitation. Now let's move on to the basic labor standards. The topics are minimum wage, weekly rest day, premium pay, hours of work, overtime, holiday pay, meal period, night shift differential, 13th month pay, separation pay, service incentive leave or SIL, retirement pay, maternity leave, paternity leave. Basis of minimum wage. The basis of the minimum wage rates prescribed by law shall be the normal working hours of 8 hours a day. Coverage. All covered employees, regardless of position, designation, or status, and the method by which their wages are paid. Compensable working hours. When can we say that the hours worked is already compensable? Time when the employee is suffered or permitted to work. The best example for this is during interview, where you are the applicant and it so happened that the company is really in need of your service. The company may allow you to work immediately after interview, since they have already selected you and that you have passed their qualifications. This means that upon the moment that the company lets you start, your hours worked is already compensable. Time when employee is required to be on duty, or at the employer's premises, or at a prescribed workplace. When the employer gives you a schedule of when to be in the company for work, that schedule shall be your compensable working hours. Time when an employee is engaged to wait by the employer. The waiting time spent by an employee shall be considered as working time if waiting is an integral part of his work, or the employee is required or engaged by the employer to wait. We now move on to the minimum wage. This is the latest minimum wage effective January 1, 2020. Under non-agriculture, establishments with 10 or more workers, 420. Establishments with less than 10 workers, 413. Under agriculture, plantation, 390. Non-plantation, 374. Under retail service, establishments with 10 or more workers, 409. Establishments with less than 10 workers, 395. Monthly paid and daily paid employees. Monthly paid employees are those paid every day of the month, including unworked rest days, special days, and regular holidays. Daily paid employees are those who are paid on the days they actually work and on unworked regular holidays. This is a no work, no pay basis. Meal period. Every employer shall give his employees, regardless of sex, not less than 1 hour time off of regular meals, except in the following cases, when a meal period of not less than 20 minutes may be given by the employer, provided that such shorter meal period is credited as compensable hours worked of the employee. Moving on, let's proceed with the holiday pay. Unless otherwise modified by law, order, or proclamation, the following are the 12 regular holidays in a year under Executive Order Number 292 as amended by Republic Act 9849. New Year's Day, Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Araw ng Kagitingan, Labor Day, Independence Day, National Heroes Day, Idul Fitr, Idul Adha, Bonifacio Day, Christmas Day, Rizal Day. Regular holidays. Every employee covered by the holiday pay rule is entitled to the minimum wage rate. This means that the employee is entitled to at least 100% of his or her minimum wage rate, even if he or she did not report for work, provided he or she is present or is on leave of absence with pay on the workday immediately preceding the holiday. On the other hand, if he or she reports on that holiday and was also able to file a leave of absence with pay, or was able to report on the workday immediately preceding the holiday, he or she will receive 200% or twice the daily wage. Special holidays. Unless otherwise modified by law, order, or proclamation, the following are the 4 special days in a year under Executive Order Number 292, as amended by Republic Act 9849, as further amended by Republic Act Number 10966, that shall be observed in the Philippines. Ninoy Aquino Day, All Saints Day, Feast of Immaculate Conception of Mary, Last Day of the Year. During these days, the no work, no pay principle applies, and on such other special days as may be proclaimed by the President or by Congress. Workers who are not required or permitted to work on special days are not entitled to any compensation. On the other hand, work performed on special days merits additional compensation of at least 30% of the basic wage, or a total of 130%. Premium pay refers to the additional compensation required by law for work performed within 8 hours on non-working days such as rest days and special days. Premium pay rates. For work performed on rest days or on special days, an additional 30% of the daily wage of 100%, or a total of 130%, shall be paid. For work performed on a rest day, which is also a special day, an additional of 50% of the daily basic wage of 100%, or a total of 150%, shall be paid. For work performed on a regular holiday, which is also the employee's rest day, an additional of 30% of the regular holiday rate of 200% based on his or her daily basic wage rate, or a total of 260%, shall be paid. Overtime pay. Overtime pay refers to the additional compensation for work performed beyond 8 hours a day. Overtime pay rates. For work in excess of 8 hours performed on ordinary working days, an additional of 25% of the hourly rate shall be paid. For work in excess of 8 hours performed on a scheduled rest day, regular holiday, or special day, an additional of 30% of the hourly rate on said day shall be paid. For work in excess of 8 hours performed on a regular holiday or special holiday, which falls on a scheduled rest day, an additional of 30% of the hourly rate on said days shall be paid. Night shift differential. Night shift differential refers to the additional compensation of 10% of an employee's regular wage for each hour of work performed between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 13th month pay. All employers are required to pay their rank and file employees 13th month pay, regardless of the nature of their employment, and irrespective of the methods by which their wages are paid, provided they work for at least 1 month during a calendar year. The 13th month pay should be given to the employees not later than December 24 of every year. Who are rank and file employees? The Labor Code, as amended, distinguished a rank and file employee from a managerial employee. A managerial employee is one who is vested with powers or prerogatives to lay down and execute management policies and or to hire, transfer, suspend, lay off, recall, discharge, assign, or discipline employees, or to effectively recommend such managerial actions. All employees not falling within this definition are considered rank and file employees. The 13th month pay shall not be less than 1/12 of the total basic salary earned by an employee in a calendar year. The basic salary of an employee for the purpose of computing the 13th month pay shall include all remunerations or earnings paid by his or her employer for services rendered. It does not include allowances and monetary benefits which are not considered or integrated as part of the regular or basic salary. Service incentive leave. Every employee who has rendered at least 1 year of service is entitled to a service incentive leave of 5 days with pay. The phrase 1 year of service of the employee means service within 12 months, whether continuous or broke, reckoned from the date the employee started working. The period includes authorized absences, unworked weekly rest days, and paid regular holidays. The service incentive leave may be used for sick and vacation leave purposes. The unused service incentive leave is commutable to its money equivalent at the end of the year. Maternity benefits. The maternity leave benefit shall be for 105 days with full pay and additional 15 days with full pay in case the female employee qualifies as a solo parent under RA 8972 or the Solo Parents Welfare Act of 2000. In case of miscarriage or emergency termination of pregnancy, the maternity leave shall be for 60 days with full pay. In cases of live childbirth, an additional maternity leave of 30 days without pay can be availed of at the option of the female employee, provided that the employer shall be given due notice. To qualify for the maternity leave benefit, the female employee must have at least 3 monthly contributions to the SSS in the 12-month period immediately preceding the semester of childbirth, miscarriage, or emergency termination of pregnancy, and she shall have notified her employer for her pregnancy and the probable date of her childbirth, which notice shall be transmitted to SSS in accordance with its rules and regulations. Paternity leave. Paternity leave is granted to all married male employees in the private sector, regardless of their employment status. The purpose of this benefit is to allow the husband to lend support to his wife during her period of recovery and or in nursing her newborn child. Government employees are also entitled to the paternity leave benefit. They shall be governed by the civil service rules. The paternity leave benefit. The paternity leave benefit shall apply to the first 4 deliveries of the employee's lawful wife with whom he is cohabiting. For this purpose, cohabiting means the obligation of the husband and wife to live together. If the spouses are not physically living together because of the workstation or occupation, the male employee is still entitled to the paternity leave benefit. The paternity leave shall be for 7 calendar days with full pay, consisting of basic salary and mandatory allowances fixed by the Regional Wage Board, if any, provided that his pay shall not be less than the mandated minimum wage. Usage of the paternity leave shall be after the delivery, without prejudice to an employer's policy of allowing the employee to avail of the benefit before or during the delivery, provided that the total number of days shall not be more than 7 calendar days for each covered delivery. Conditions of entitlement. A married male employee shall be entitled to paternity leave benefit provided that he has met the following conditions. He is an employee at the time of the delivery of his child. He is cohabiting with his spouse at the time that she gives birth or suffers a miscarriage. He has applied for paternity leave with his employer within a reasonable period of time from the expected date of delivery by his pregnant spouse, or within such period as may be provided by company rules and regulations or by collective bargaining agreement. His wife was given birth or suffered a miscarriage. Parental leave for solo parents. Parental leave for solo parents is granted to any solo parent or individual who is left alone with the responsibility of parenthood due to giving birth as a result of rape or, as used by law, other crimes against chastity. Death of spouse. Spouse is detained or is serving sentence for a criminal conviction for at least 1 year. Physical and or mental incapacity of spouse as certified by a public medical practitioner. Legal separation or de facto separation from spouse for at least 1 year, provided that he or she is entrusted with the custody of the children. Declaration of nullity or annulment of marriage as decreed by a court or by a church, provided that he or she is entrusted with the custody of the children. Abandonment of spouse for at least 1 year. Unmarried father or mother who has preferred to keep and rear his or her children or child instead of having other care for them or give them up to a welfare institution. Any other person who solely provides parental care or support to a child or children, provided that he or she is duly licensed as a foster parent by the Department of Social Welfare and Development or duly appointed legal guardian by the court. Any family member who assumes the responsibility of head of family as a result of death, abandonment, disappearance, or prolonged absence of the parents or sole parent, provided that such abandonment, disappearance, or prolonged absence last for at least 1 year. Parental leave shall mean leave benefits granted to a solo parent to enable him, her, to perform parental duties and responsibilities where physical presence is required. Child refers to a person living with and dependent on the solo parent for support. He or she is unmarried, unemployed, and below 18 years of age, or even 18 years old and above, but is incapable of self-support because he or she is mentally and or physically challenged. The parental leave, in addition to leave privileges under existing laws, shall be for 7 work days every year with full pay. A solo parent employee shall be entitled to the parental leave provided that he or she has rendered at least 1 year of service, whether continuous or broken. He or she has notified his or her employer that he or she will avail himself or herself of it within a reasonable period of time. He or she has presented to his or her employer a solo parent identification card which may be obtained from the DSWD office of the city or municipality where he or she resides. Separation pay. Separation pay is given to employees in instances covered by Articles 298 and 299 of the Labor Code of the Philippines. An employee's entitlement to separation pay depends on the reason or ground for the termination of his or her services. An employee may be terminated for just cause and other similar causes as enumerated under Article 297 of the Labor Code, and generally may not be entitled to separation pay. On the other hand, where the termination is for authorized causes, separation pay is due. An employee is entitled to receive a separation pay equivalent to 1/2 month pay for every year of service, a fraction of at least 6 months being considered as 1 whole year if his or her separation from the service is due to any of the following authorized causes: retrenchment to prevent losses, closure or cessation of operation of an establishment not due to serious losses or financial reverses. When the employee is suffering from a disease not curable within a period of 6 months and his or her continued employment is prejudicial to his or her health or to the health of his or her co-employees. Lack of service assignment of security guard for a continuous period of 6 months. An employee is entitled to separation pay equivalent to his or her 1 month pay for every year of service, a fraction of at least 6 months being considered as 1 whole year if his or her separation from service is due to any of the following: installation by employer of labor-saving devices, redundancy, as when the position of the employee has been found to be excessive or unnecessary in the operation of the enterprise, impossible reinstatement of the employee to his or her former position or to a substantially equivalent position for reasons not attributable to the fault of the employer, as when the reinstatement ordered by a competent authority cannot be implemented due to closure or cessation of operations of the establishment or employer, or the position to which he or she is to be reinstated no longer exists and there is no substantially equivalent position in the establishment to which he or she can be assigned. Lack of service assignment of security guard by reason of age. Retirement pay. Employees shall be retired upon reaching the age of 60 years or more, but not beyond 65 years old, and have served the establishment for at least 5 years. The benefit applies to all employees except government employees, employees of retail, service, and agricultural establishments or operations regularly employing not more than 10 employees. The minimum retirement pay shall be equivalent to 1/2 month's salary of every year of service, a fraction of at least 6 months being considered as 1 whole year. For the purpose of computing retirement pay, 1/2 month's salary shall include all of the following: 15 days salary based on the latest salary rate, cash equivalent of 5 days of service incentive leave, 1/12 of the 13th month pay. Thus, 1/2 month's salary is equivalent to 22.5 days. To illustrate the computation of minimum retirement pay is equal to daily rate times 22.5 days times the number of years in service. Other benefits may be included in the computation of the retirement pay upon agreement of the employer and the employee, or if provided in the collective bargaining agreement or CBA. And that ends our discussion for today. Thank you. Keep safe and God bless.
Thank you so much, Mr. Albert Aquino, for the labor and employment, labor education topic for the graduating students. Now, may we ask um, Mr. Jovencio Marquez, so on behalf po of DOLE, so Sir Joven will answer your questions if you have questions regarding the topic po na binigay ni DOLE. So, since DOLE won't be able to um, ayan. Hi, Sir Dole. Hi, Sir Joven. Good afternoon
Hello
po.
po, Ma'am, can you hear me po?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay po, okay. So
All right.
so technically I'm not a lawyer, but been employed sa government and then have may experience din naman with the private sector. There are ano kasi for example, regarding sa mga labor laws, for the government side, sa amin side, once nag-apply ka ng trabaho and then you get hired, uh, chances are your institution will conduct an orientation on the allowable leaves, mga benefits ninyo. But for some companies, parang ano siya for those small companies, small and medium enterprises, walang ganong orientation. Yung iba nga, pasok na kagad, rekta na kagad. So, it is essential for every new applicant sa mga magbabalak magtrabaho na to know yung mga certain rights and privileges ng nating mga manggagawa. So, we fuel the economy with our taxes and with the money that we get from the payment na ginagawa natin. Kaya importante siya. I would just want to cite an example dito kasi we have a case here in Iba. They were terminated na sa kumpanya, but nilaban nila yung kanilang rights kasi they were illegally terminated by the company. Matagal siya, matagal na proseso. Actually, ang mga kaso tungkol sa labor ay inaabot ng matagal na panahon. May mga arbitration pa yan. So ang nangyari, they were terminated illegally. And then for some time, mabot pa sa Supreme Court ang kaso nila. Then finally, nag-release na ang Supreme Court na decision that they will be paid back wages mula na natanggal sila hanggang sa computed for every year that they were not paid, that they were terminated. So, importante na alam natin yung karapatan natin. Ang ano lang is there are certain changes, most especially with the daily wages kasi may kapapasa lang na bagong minimum wages. So, yung hindi lang na-update yung AVP. And again, meron din update regarding sa paternity leave. May additional days din ata siya kasi before maternity leave lang ang usually nagagamit. Then nagkaroon na ng mata ang batas natin tungkol sa kailangan din naman din mag-leave yung tatay. Hindi lang si nanay ang pwedeng mag-leave. So there are isa pang mga tinitingnan natin for those employees na mag-move forward to sa mga call centers, yung differential yan papasok, and the benefits na included. So sa government, we are under the government service insurance system. Sa private naman, dun pumapasok yung SSS. And again, may mga changes din again on the collection, especially sa PhilHealth. Yan, sa PhilHealth. For those dun sa mga students na graduating, I don't know kung nakapagkuha na kayo, nakapag-process na kayo ng inyong PhilHealth. Kasi alam ko requirement yan before yung doon sa inyong limited face-to-face. I hope na nakapag-process na kayo. Kasi yun yung naging problem with the PhilHealth. Kasi right after graduation, nagkakaroon ng queuing dun sa kanilang office, local office namin dito. So, nahihirapan silang i-process. Now, we have a MOA na sa PhilHealth. May online na. Ngayon, currently, the Office of Student Affairs is processing yung mga PhilHealth forms for those na mga graduating na. Sana makapagkuha sila para menos dun sa kanilang sa checklist nila kasi kailangan nila na most especially teen, PhilHealth, SSS. So SSS madali na lang din siya dahil online siya. So yun. For questions po regarding sa some basic those laws were presented are the basic laws or the basic uh, no basic na kailangan malaman nating mga manggagawa para equip tayo pag lumabas na tayo, pag nag-apply tayo, alam natin yung karapatan natin na hindi tayo yung nati-take for granted. Ayun, ma'am.
Alright. Thank you so much, Sir Joven. So to our audience, so the floor is open for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic po, so feel free to post your questions on the comment section. So ako sir, since nabanggit mo po yung issue diyan po sa Zambales, no, would like to know po what are the common labor issues po sa Region 3 or specifically po sa Zambales.
So basically kasi for the private sector here in Zambales, we still we're trying to cope with kasi we have neighboring provinces which are hubs like Pampanga, uh, they have the Clark. Meron din naman kami dito sa bandang south which is SBMA, and sa Bataan meron ding another hub which is yung hub, Freeport area of Bataan. So most of employees tend to go there, mga who's looking for much higher rates than dito sa province. For ano naman, for sa government, may nakita kasi akong question diyan sa ano, which I would answer na for, again, for government, mostly kasi dito sa province, dito sa LGUs, most LGUs and most government agencies, mga job order employees with different rates ang kanilang wages. Depende kasi ito sa categorization. May, for example, dito sa amin sa PRMSU, we are under national yung budget namin. So yung rate ng mga employees would be much higher than the local counterparts like sa LGUs, provincial, and sa mga municipal. So yung nakita kong question ng tanong ni Sir
Yes,
Ryan Ayan.
Sir Ryan Akayan. So, tanong niya po is, matagal na po sa government, nag-work, may 7 years na din po. Pwede po ba silang maging permanent?
So, yun, for that question, thank you Sir Ryan Akayat for that question. Sa government po kasi, the question is there unavailable items or plantilla items, permanent items po. So, pag may available na plantilla, doon nagkakaroon ng filling up doon sa mga positions na yon. For example, dito sana lang sa amin sa PRMSU. So, sa mga state universities and colleges, meron ding kakulangan sa mga administrative positions. So, yung DBM before, the Department of Budget Management, ay nangako sila ng positions to fill up yon para magkaroon ng magandang operations yung at hindi lang aasa sa mga job orders, sa mga contract of service. So magbibigay sila ng plantilla positions for 7 years. So I would like to cite Pasig City. So kasi yung pinaka if you are narinig kayo news. So sa Pasig City, marami silang plantilla positions na were left filled. So pag upo ni Mayor, so finill up niya lahat 'yon. So there are 20 years ng job orders, 10 years sila yung na permanent. It's kasi alam naman natin sa gobyerno, it's either political or budget may deficit sa budget. So, dun sa Pasig, political yon. Kasi may mga unfilled positions na pinilapan ng bagong upo for dito sa amin sa SUC budget. Kasi walang plantilla position na available, limited siya actually. Limited siya. Unlike kasi sa teaching position, pag may mag-retire, pwedeng makapag-create ng dalawa o isa na position. Sa situation ngayon, it's limited. So yung 7 years na yan, actually ako, ilang years din yun before JO ako nag-start, tapos naging permanent. Matagal din na panahon. So yung 7 years, may mas matagal pa. So yung tanong na yan, it depends dun sa agency na pinapasukan niya at saka dun sa kung ano siya, national ba siya, provincial ba siya, or local, or may available bang plantilla position. So yun po yun.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Joven. Sir, would like to ask also po kung ano yung industry na pinaka naapektuhan po, affected po no sa Zambales kasi as far as I know, parang sa Zambales kasi parang napapalibutan ng halos resort po no, puro resorts,
Yes po.
more on tourism talaga po ang Zambales kasi I know diyan ako na um tawag dito, na-lockdown nung pandemic po sa Candelaria. So, bandang sa may Sinabacan, ayan. So, tapos parang isa si Zambales na pinakamatagal na nag-lift ng, ECQ, GCQ, kung ano nung Q 'yan, quarantine period, bago sila nagpapasok po ng mga tourist, ng
Tourist. Yes.
aside from Zambales po. So, tama po ba na ang pinaka, industry na naapektuhan po yung hospitality or yung restaurant?
Yes. Mostly affected po within Zambales are the small and medium enterprises. Kasi especially
Mhm.
here in Iba, may mga before the pandemic, maraming mga small and medium enterprises na
Mhm.
nagbubukas. Pabukas or
Mhm.
magbubukas pa lang or mag siya, magbubukas pa ng panibagong mga branches. Sila yung mostly affected. Kasi yung mga service na businesses, like mga established na businesses, katulad ng mga groceries, mga department stores,
Mhm.
tuloy yung kanilang operations. But with, may limited din yung time. Parang, hindi lang sila mag-lay off, but nagkaroon sila ng parang uh, nag-schedule nila na 3 days or 2 days or yung shifting nila. Small and medium enterprises were affected, and then the hospitality and tourism industry kasi nga sarado ang mga hotels, walang pwedeng makapasok din nun. So matagal bago sila inalaw, and then there are marami kasi ang problema kasi sa nila, maraming government agencies ang kailangan mag-check sa nila. It's yung IATF, yung DOH, saka
Totoo.
yung Department of Tourism para
Mm.
ma-certify sila na ready sila for the new normal. So may mga resorts din na hindi nakapagbukas kaagad kasi nga hindi sila fully equipped dun sa bagong policies na sinet ng IATF and the Department of Tourism. So, yun. Mostly, kasi nga, yun nga, coastline, talagang nasa coastline ng
Mm.
Zambales. So,
Mm.
talagang matindi yung tinamaan yung hospitality and tourism industry. But ngayon, nakabalik na yung mga past months na nag-open na kami ay may mga visitors na coming from mostly ang visitors namin within the region, within the region, mga taga Pampanga, taga Bulacan na gusto magdagat kasi mostly walang dagat sa kanila. So, from
Totoo.
Manila, ayun. So, okay naman na kahit pa paano nakapagbukas na sila. And then yung mga small medium enterprises, may mga nagbukas, may mga nag-expand na ng businesses nila, nakapag-adapt na rin sa new normal. And then may mga yun, one area lang na nag-boom nung pandemic was yung online selling and then yung delivery. Kasi
Mhm.
nagkaroon na ng pinasok na rin ng mga delivery service yung iba, especially iba and other LGUs dito. So yun yung naging resilient naman din yung yung mga businesses. They try to cope up with yung kung ano yung kaya nilang gawin. And then may mga nag-hire din naman na mga uh, industries. Kaya yun. So at least ngayon, ayun naman, resilient din naman talaga ang mga taga Zambales. Kaya
Zambales.
nakaka-cope up naman na.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Joven. So I think no more questions from the audience po. So also we give the floor na po to you to give us the closing remarks, Sir
Yes.
Joven.
Ayan. So malapit na tayo dun sa exciting part para sa mga graduating students. So katatapos ng exams nila, I believe last week, and then ngayon may seminar sila dito, and then tomorrow meron na naman sila another seminar for them to be fully equipped with the things that they need to know, they need to have para makipag-compete sa mundo ng labor. So in the next few weeks or days, they will be part of the thousands of newly fresh graduates uh, who will be part of the Philippine workforce, and marami-rami yung magiging competition nila. So hindi lang naman sila yung mag-graduate. So there are lots of students from all over the Philippines. Dito sa Zambales, there are also higher education institutions na graduate din. So it is now sila daw yung first batch, I believe, ng K to 12 na dumaan ng senior high na gagraduate. So the thinking is they are the most equipped, they are the most ready, and we hope that they could contribute sa economy natin. And then to themselves, to their families, and to sa kanila, para sa kanilang career. So majority siguro sa mga yan would be reviewing for those may mga board exams. Yung iba immediately maghahanap ng trabaho because yun nga, nasa pandemya pa rin tayo. Kaya namin ginawa tong seminar na ito. So to introduce to you Jobs 180, Resumelink, para nagkakaroon kayo ng gateway for opportunities and then ma-empower kayo sa mga kailangan niyo. So hindi dito nagtatapos yung ang aming pagtulong kung Career and Job Placement Office. Kahit graduate na kayo, nakita niyo naman yung sinabi na graduate, they can use Resumelink, they can go to us here at PRMSU. Maraming services, may mga services pa kaming i-offer. Dahil nagbalik na, nag-ease na yung restrictions, magbabalik na rin yung face-to-face job fairs. Kung naka-attend kayo ng virtual career fair na nakaraan, so meron na kayong idea ano yung sukatan ng mga kung paano sinusuri ng mga kumpanya yung mga kukunin nilang mga aplikante. So natuto ako na malaki ang turnout ngayon ng mga graduating students. At sana tomorrow din dun sa isang seminar for the graduating students ay marami ring umattend kasi maganda rin yung mga hihain na activities para sa inyo. So I would like to congratulate you, mga graduating students, na pagtagumpayan niyo yung 2 taong face-to-face, tapos siguro 2 years ng online classes. At sana in the next few weeks or months or days, makahanap kayo ng trabaho. Kasi mas maganda yun mas magandang rumampa sa graduation na bago ka graduate, may trabaho ka na, di ba? May nag-aantay ng trabaho sa inyo. So, grab the opportunity na libre yung Jobs 180, na may mga opportunities doon. Visit yung link ng school link natin Doon makikita niyo yung mga trabaho na may mamatch sa inyo. So, di ko napapatagalin to. Magpapasalamat lang ulit ako sa Jobs 180, kay Sir Kim, kay Ma'am Joyce, para sa opportunity na ganito. At sana wag po kayo magsawang supportahan po yung mga activities na pinopropose po namin dito sa PRMSU. At isang mapagpalaya at uh, magandang araw at hapon sa inyong lahat. Thank you po.
Thank you so much also, Sir Joven. Thank you. Maraming salamat din po at walang sawang tangkilik sa aming mga serbisyo. So maraming salamat po. So to continually supporting our activities and trusting us, Jobs 180 po, to power your event. So kita-kits po tayo sa inyong virtual career fair kung meron man, Sir Joven. Thank you, sir. Keep safe po. All right, so there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. So please do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. So please, again, the evaluation will serve as your attendance for today's session po. Okay, and of course, we would like to announce our Optum Open House on August 5 to 8. So Optum Open House po is job fair po na si Optum. Ayan, mismo. So you can register for free po or you can scan the code po on your screen. So 3-day job fair po ito, 3-day job fair po ito. So please kung gusto niyang makahanap ng trabaho, so feel free to register. And I think hindi ko alam kung posted na din po sa Facebook page ni PRMSU ito, pero halos lahat po ng school partners ni Jobs 180 ay nag-announce na ng Optum Open House. So we hope na, 2 days lang pala, no, 5 and 8, 2 days job fair po ni Optum. And we hope na makita namin yung mga taga-PRMSU sa Optum Open House na on August 5 and 8 po, 2 p.m. So please register now. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. And again, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event, and we hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. So we would like to thank again PRMSU for collaborating with Jobs 180. And again, katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Kim, if you're interested to apply po internally Jobs 180 hiring. So Jobs 180 is hiring for a customer support officer and IT officer for full-time positions. That's work from home, guys. Okay, so please submit your resume link at jobs180.com/jobs180, or you may email us your resume link at info@jobs180.com. So please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. So please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are welcome, guys, to join in on those sessions too. Again, for more career opportunities, you may visit your own school portal. It's schools.jobs180.com/PRMSU or PRMSU. Okay, so the program is finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat, everyone.
Change. It happens when you least expect it, but also when you embrace it. At Accenture, we help the world's biggest brands thrive through change. Our people combine technology and creativity, expertise and experience, learning and collaboration, passion and purpose to make a difference for our clients, their customers, our company, and our communities. Behind every great change is a great human. Bring your skills, your curiosity, and your true self to your work every day. Let's do incredible things. Let's deliver on the promise of technology and human ingenuity.